So let's hear from the people before we go into the weekend with our girl, Natalie, our BFA correspondent, apparently, out here getting press credentials and whatnot. Covering games.
Press credentials?
Yeah.
Probably getting the scoop.
Probably came out
the scoop. Did you get the scoop from the Warriors? They did some different things in that game last night. I'm sure you got the scoop from some of the players and Steve Kerr.
Actually, the Warriors, they were I'm just basing it on their actions, were pretty upset about that loss. So none of the players came to do post games. Everything was in the locker room, except for Steve Kerr. So I didn't get much. I went to the winning team, the Celtics, and I got some stuff from them.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like go. You'll be taking Vinny Goodwill's spot before you know it.
That's right.
Make some contacts in different locker rooms. All right. What are the people saying? Hit us with the comments. What you got?
Yes. So we had a conversation about Byron Leftwich yesterday in terms of him, being a scapegoat when he was terminated, scapegoated. And a lot of the conversation between Michael and Jim was about it, like Tom Brady having a poor season. And so when he wins, it's all about Tom Brady. And when he loses, then someone, a coach gets fired. And generally speaking, I would say a lot of our viewers agreed with that position. But there was one viewer who said, I think he's being scapegoated, but it's for the coach, the head coach, not for a Tom Brady. So curious what you guys think about that.
That's an interesting thought. I mean, it's the offense is struggling and Todd Bowles' area is supposed to be defense.
Right.
You're not going to fire the quarterback if you can help it. So, yeah, I think there's something to be said for that. I mean, the coach probably had some say in the matter, we think.
Maybe.
If it's to keep Tom Brady, then, Brady probably made it known, or it was no secret that Brady wanted to see some change. I think it could be multiple things. I think it was probably a collective decision. True. What I do know is that it is not always a reflection of that individual. Just as it wasn't all Byron Leftwich's fault. I'm sure he had his hand in him underperforming. I don't think Byron Leftwich forgot how to coach, nor do I think he was along for the ride the last couple of years when things were going well. So listen, he ain't the first or the last good coach to be fired. A lot of good coaches have been fired because, failure demands accountability.
Especially this offseason.
They put it on him. Yeah, and he'll end up somewhere else, and he'll end up on his feet, and he'll be a head coach still. What else you got?
Yeah, so HBCUs, big topic, continues to just, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. Our favorite Dr. Jason, as I like to call him, came on yesterday, riled everyone up as he loves to do, but he called out Ed Reed and said his comments were dangerous and gave really thorough explanations as to why. And as everyone may know, Ed Reed's recent comments that he had to apologize for. He was being very critical of Bethune-Cookman, who he was recently hired for to coach there. So it's interesting. YouTube really seemed to think that we had an issue just, that Ed Reed was right. And at some point we got to call things out and there should be accountability. So YouTube didn't really seem to agree, our viewers who, look at the show on YouTube, with Dr. Jason, but Instagram really agreed with him. And they said, listen, this was irresponsible. And there are some issues, but there's a different way to handle this. So 2 different viewpoints.
Interesting. Maybe it's different audiences. We got to do a deep dive on that.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else?
Yeah.
We got about a minute left. We got to take our last break. Do you have anything else, Natalie? Any other comments?
Deep dive is the right word. Deep is the right phrase. Yes.
Yes. So very quickly, we had a debate about who's the face of the NBA, and then we took a poll. That also got a little spicy. But so the poll, LeBron is leading the poll, which I know that most people would probably expect that to be, but he doesn't have a majority. He has 44%, I believe it is. And then it's about 20, I can't see from here that well, but it's split between
20% co-faces?
Yeah, so it's split between Steph and co-faces. And that's about 49%, and then 7% are unsure. So we had a really great comment.
Can I throw something out?
Yeah.
That's my first time seeing that. What if LeBron is the voice of the NBA and Steph is the face of the NBA?
Oh, okay.
How about that?
I like that.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.